Bree, you gotta get that man out of your bedroom right now.
What? There's no man in my room.
Oh, good, because it was just about to get a whole lot more crowded. Orson is home.
At that moment, my husband was already downstairs. He stared at the two glasses on the table, full of suspicion. He moved quietly to the door and suddenly pushed it open. I pretended to stay calm, but inside I was terrified. On the phone, Angie sensed something was off. She turned her head in confusion and saw a naked man on the roof. This situation is simply too awkward. Orson didn't catch anything, but those two glasses were right there on the table. He refused to believe I was home alone. He demanded to know whose glass it was. I couldn't think of an excuse for a moment. At the last second, Angie stepped in with a glass in her hand.
Orson? Wow. Pop home for 5 minutes, toss some clothes in the dryer, and you got a man in your bedroom.
Then we worked in sync and completely erased his suspicion. When Orson left, we moved fast. I shut the door, and she handed clothes to the man outside. At first, Angie never wanted to get involved. That day, she only came to see me, but she ran into Orson at my house. He looked downcast and said he suspected I was having an affair, but he was leaving for a golf game, so he asked her to keep an eye on me. Angie flat out refused. She didn't believe I would cheat behind his back. The next day, she still told me what he said. I felt a wave of panic after hearing it. I rushed out and called my lover immediately, but Angie caught me in the act. That night, Carl came over, and she was standing nearby. Carl dared to take the risk because he had a plan. He wanted to bring in Orson's old cellmate and take their photos. If Orson refused to divorce, those photos would go to the parole officer. Then he would be sent back to prison. It was a flawless plan. I wanted to give him a kiss as a reward, but Carl wanted more. It was the first time my husband wasn't home. Carl wasn't going to waste it. We went upstairs to get intimate. Not noticing someone was watching outside, Angie froze, unable to believe what she saw. Then a car pulled into the driveway. She recognized it was Orson's car. She immediately called to warn me. I didn't answer. She kept calling until finally, I picked up. After both men were gone, she confronted me harshly. She said I had to choose divorce or run away. But for me, it wasn't simple at all. Carl was crude and arrogant, but he gave me passion I hadn't felt in years. Orson was cunning and experienced, threatening me and refusing to divorce. I was torn between them, unable to decide. A few days later, Madame Butterfly was playing. I sat there crying my eyes out, but Carl stayed completely indifferent, and he still touched me carelessly in public. When I got home, I saw Orson sitting alone. He was listening to Madame Butterfly. He turned up the volume, and we both sank into the sorrow of the music. In that moment, I realized how foolish my affair had been.